Here's a video about substitution. Substitution is what it sounds like. It's what you think it is. It's like in sport. It's when you swap one thing for another. In sport, you substitute one player for another, don't you? If you want to make a change, if you want to bring another player on, you've got an injury, or you've got someone who is not playing that well, or is just tired, then you take them off and you substitute them for another player, don't you? Let's just get straight into it. In maths, substitution normally refers to the swapping of a number for a letter, or vice versa. And if you get a substitution question, it'll always start, hopefully, by giving you some information about numbers and letters that are equivalent to each other. Here it says, if A is 3 and B equals -4, and C equals 5 and D equals -2, then what is... And there are a whole bunch of questions, and we're just going to approach this by answering these questions, and hopefully by the end of it you'll understand, first of all, what substitution is, and B, how to go about answering questions involving substitution of this kind. In order to do this, you're going to need to be able to deal with adding, subtracting, multiplying and dividing with negative numbers. If you're not sure about that, you might want to go and find another video about that, and then come back here when you're more confident about negative numbers. But let's get on with it. If A is 3, B is -4, C is 5 and D is -2, then what is number 1, A minus B? Well, I would suggest the first thing you want to do when you are answering these questions is substitute the numbers in place of the letters. So if A is 3 and B is -4, then what the question really says is, what is 3 take away -4? I'll write it like that. Some people like to write negative numbers with brackets around them to indicate their true value in that way. Either is fine. What this question really is saying then is, what is 3 take away -4? Hopefully you understand that when you take away a minus number, it's the opposite of taking away a positive number. So when you take away a minus number, you actually end up getting bigger rather than smaller. So really this question is what is 3 plus 4? And the answer is, of course, 7. Question 2, what is 7D? I'm going to work horizontally here, by the way. I would suggest you work vertically, but we're going to go horizontally here. 7D means 7 times D, 7 lots of D, and D is -2, so really the question is asking, what is 7 times -2? When you multiply two positive numbers together, you get a positive answer, don't you? So if you multiply a positive number by a negative number, the answer will be negative. 7 2s are 14. A positive number times a negative number is negative, so the answer here is -14. Easy, isn't it? Now then, sometimes you get indices in these questions, as in question 3, AB squared. What does that mean? It means A times B squared. You should be saying bid maths to yourself here, because what this question means is, what is A times B squared? And the first thing you'll do is not the multiplying, it's the indices, it's the B squared. So we'll write it out. Let's substitute the numbers in. 3 times -4 squared, and we're going to do the -4 squared first. -4 times itself, -4 times -4. Well, 4 4s are 16, and when you multiply a number by two negative numbers together, you get a positive answer. So the answer to -4 squared is 16. So we get 3 times 16, and 3 16s are 10 3s are 30, 6 3s are 18, add them together, 48. There you go. Let's scroll down. We've got a few more down here. The next question is very much like the third one, except we've got some brackets. So if we write it out with the number values in place of the letters, we've got AB, which means A times B, and A times B is 3 times -4. That's in brackets, then squared. What's 3 times -4? 3 4s are 12. A positive times a negative is negative, so we've got -12 squared. -12 times by itself, a negative times a negative is a positive. 12 12s are 144. There you go. So the mere fact of the brackets here, the only difference between this question at the top and this question here, numbers 3 and 4, was the brackets. But the brackets meant that we did the A times B first in the second question, whereas in the first question, the absence of brackets meant we did the indices first, the B squared, and then times it by A. And that explains the two different answers that we got. 7C minus 3D means 7 lots of C, take away 3 lots of D. What was C again? I can't remember either, don't worry. C was 5, so 7 times 5, take away 3 lots of D, still can't remember because I've got a brain like a sieve. D is -2, 3 times -2. So 7 times 5, take away 3 times -2. If you felt like putting brackets around it, knock yourself out, but actually you don't need them, do you? Because you'd always do the multiplying first anyway. 7 5s are 35. take away 3 lots of minus 2 is minus 6. We've got 35, take away minus 6. Again, you might put the brackets around the minus 6. I'm not going to bother this time. Start on 35 on your imaginary number line. If you take away a minus number, or a negative number, you get bigger. Take away a positive, you get smaller. Take away a negative, you get bigger. So it's actually 35 plus 6, 41. Okay, I think it's the last one we got here. AB over 2d squared. It looks complicated, it isn't. First things first, substitute in the values in place, the numerical values in place of the letter values. A and B are 3 and minus 4, so AB means A times B, so it's 3 times minus 4. Over 2d squared, d is minus 2, I've remembered something. So 2d squared means 2 times minus 2 squared. Don't forget big maths, big maths, big maths. Right, let's work out the top first. 3 times minus 4 is minus 12, right? Positive times a negative. And on the bottom, what are we going to do first? The multiplying or the indices? Well done. The indices. We're going to do minus 2 squared first. Minus 2 times minus 2, well, 2 2s are 4. A negative times a negative is positive, so minus 2 squared is 4. So that gives us that. Minus 12 over, 2 4s are 8. Let's keep going. Minus 12 over 8. Final answer? No, because it's a top-heavy fraction. We'll turn our top-heavy fraction into a mixed number. 12 divided by 8. How many 8s go into 12? 1 remainder 4, right? So 1 and 4 over 8, I'm thinking, but it's a negative divided by 8 positive, so it's minus 1 and 4 over 8. Can we simplify? Yes, we can. 4 8s is equivalent to 1/2. Final answer, minus 1.5. There are some questions involving substitution, including some questions with indices, including some questions with brackets, question 4, including some questions where you have number values next to letter values, like here. 7d means 7 times d. Letters next to letters, like here. AB means A times D. Some questions where you have numbers multiplied, so letters multiplied by letters, divided by other letters, squared, and multiplied by other numerical values. It's all fairly straightforward, I would suggest, but I hope this has given you the confidence to approach whatever it is you have to do. Good luck to you.